DigBiz Expert online again. I feel very excited to be here one more time. Now, for a number of you guys that I've actually thought, oh, this guy isn't, online again and all that. I would like to tell you guys that I'm still very much online. It's just that I've included many other things into what I'm doing, and that's the reason why, most of the time, you guys have actually heard about me very long time ago. But nonetheless, I'm actually coming back gradually right now, which I believe, you guys will actually so much appreciate at the end of the day. And because of it, I'm going to, show you guys how you can make use of compound interest again, and the very much sacred and secret, tips you guys can use into maintaining that. But now to start with, I still want us to look at the power of compound interest. Power of compound interest that I've actually been clamoring on, in the days of when I started and, teaching you guys how you can go about this. Now, the basic thing you guys just need with this is consistency. You need consistency. You see, consistency is omnipotent in everything you're doing. Be focused, be consistent, and be persistent. And whether you like it or not, you will get to your destination one day. Just as simple as that. If you can be persistent enough, listen to me, guys. You will surely get, to your goal. And if you can be consistent, you will maintain your goal. You will maintain it and you will keep on with it, because that's what success is all about. Now, quickly, let's start with, with our site that we always make use of to actually see what we can do with that. What we're going to do now is I'll just show you a scenario of probably let's touch, the realms of, let's say, probably want to use 20% initial deposit, with what we want to do, how we can actually, how we can create wealth, how we can create a durable wealth in Banary.com. That a number of us have actually been thinking, oh, this is not real, this is this and this, that. I want to tell you guys that, it's very much real, because a lot of people are actually making it, and you can make it as well. Now, with an initial deposit of $20, let's just assume that you want to do $20 with 5%, daily target. 5% daily target, what will actually be, your rate of return, at the end of a month. So let's get started. Now, I'm making use of compound. I'm making use of compounddaily.com in order for me to see compounddaily.com. Just insert any deposit amount you want to start with. I'm starting with $20. And I want to do 5% daily. So for the next 1 month now, what's going to give me if I want to, compound back? So that means, I actually want to do compounding. I want to compound my capital, since I've actually been withdrawing if possible, once per month. At the end of the month, what am I going to, have in there? Of course, you can see we're going to have over 300%. So that means from $20 we'll be having 86, and from there, let's say we go back with 50, so we will draw $30 there, like a percentage there, and we go on. This is going to give us, as a short banker, very, very good return. 216. From 216, we now want to be very conservative. We withdraw. Let's assume that we withdraw the the initial balance that we started with, which is 50. I want to assume that, so we withdraw 50 this time around. So we started with 160. Let's assume we're starting with 160 now, and this is the very third month. What do you think is going to become of us? By the end of third month, we'll be taking on 691, and because of this, so we now start again with 600, which is the fourth month. Remember, the very fourth month. What are you taking on by then? You can see a whole lot of amounts. You're taking on 2005. I'm 2005 now. So you withdraw your 600, which is 593, and you start again with month 5, the fifth month with $2,000, which is, with your 5%, if you can actually maintain that, at the end of the day, you are going on with 8,000 seeds, and you withdraw your 600 seeds. You must have actually gotten some very nice thing. By the end of 6 months, you'll be going on with how much? You'll be going on with $34,000. Now, remember when you started that you started with initial capital of $20, and you were able to run it up the way in just space of 6 months by being consistent on your 5% to over $30,000 plus. Now, let me tell you, all this is very much possible. But the problem about a number of us is that we are not consistent, we are not persistent. Once we see that something is not working, we just give it up, and we think it's not very much possible. Now, having seen this, now let's quickly go to binary.com and see some of the strategy you can use. As I'm actually coming back now, what I'm actually going to use today, I will just use one method. We will try as much as possible. We'll go into it and let's see what we can actually do with it. Now we're just looking for 5%. We're just looking for only 5%. Let's see. Now I'm actually logging into one of the virtual accounts that I have. As you guys can see, that $24,000. Now let's say probably we want to try with this virtual account. We want to do 5%, which is a daily target on 24K. Now that means we're going to do 1,000 to do this. Now we will be making use of, let's say, probably 3%. So instead of 3% now, no problem, making use of 1,000 for 5%. And we want to do something like this 200. So that means with 200 we only need to make use of, we only need to place 6 trades per day, and once we can make it, it's just simple. It's just as simple as that. Now let me actually tell you the very major secrets you can use. See, once you can just run this down like this, you will actually be very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we have 7 trades to make here. Even if now the secret is never mind to go. If you make any mistake, if something actually catches you, just leave it and come back the next day. It's not a must. You can do 5% today. Now, most of the time I do 15%, I do 12%, I do 9%, I do 7%, but the minimum is actually 5%. But now I will actually advise you to do 5% as the maximum to start with. Since you're actually just getting into this. Now we're going to go into this right now, and we use this. What we're going to use is you can do over and under. You can do over of 1, and you can do under of 8. Now I'm not even going to look at it. We're just going to trade it. Now the strategy that I actually make use of, to start with is, whenever we have the value that is above what we actually traded, we just go into it. You make it. Once you make that, you go to the next one like this. No, in 100 now, since we are doing over 1, just look at it. One is above 1 like this. Can you see now? It's above 1 like that. Once you see these 2 digits here that is above 1, you enter into it. I am not promising 100% winning ratio, but of course you can have a very substantial amount in there, and you can actually call it a day. Remember that the 6 you're doing, we've done 1 already, so you don't need to be too much in a haste. If you make any mistake, don't be too much in a haste to go into it. Now I'm going to show you the recovery plan that you can use if you're actually making a mistake. Now we're going into it already, so can you get it now? So most of the time what I do personally is I put in 5% of my stake, yes, and I do 5 to 6 trades per day. I make the 5% and I leave it for the next day. Now I've done that. Remember that it's 6 you want to do, so just as a rule like that is what we're looking into doing. Of course, if you don't want to do 1, remember you can actually switch back to 8, but of course I've actually heard I've actually had much real, success ratio in 1 than 8. Now, okay, as you guys can see now, it's above 1, which is just the simple, the simple strategy I'm actually using. It's not actually a formula, but I just come up with it, and it's actually been very nice for me. As you guys can see, remember, we are going for 6 trades. That's the third one. So remaining 3, even if you make any mistake, like I said, you don't need to mantigale. I will show you what to use. There are lots of strategies you can use here that can actually be giving you very serious and good money that a number of us we don't even know at all. Now we are going into this right now. Now, of course, I want us to, you can actually go back down and you can keep on with it, but just wait till all of this is actually above 1, which is what I just considered to be it. You just enter it and let's see what we can do. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, like I said, but of course, you can have lots of winning ratio from it. Can you see now? This one actually catches us, so that means we're actually going into. Now, instead of you mantigaling, remember that you have won thrice before, so that means you got in 600. So just need to go to the next one. Don't mantigale. I've said it over time. Don't mantigale. You can still continue with it if you feel like going with it. You can still continue, without to actually. And if you actually want to change it down, you can change it down. It's just as simple as that. Now, instead of you mantigaling, there's something else you can do. Let me show you. Now, if you put in 7, you come in there and you trade your 7 in there, that it's going to be under 7. That can actually catch you as well. There are lots of other ways you can still use, but of course most of the time it has always been very loving for me. So instead of you to mantigale, you can increase on that, but it's still very much dangerous, which I used to tell people. Still very, very much dangerous. If you don't actually know what you're doing, you will still be making some very serious mistake that can naturally blow away or burn away your capital. Now, the major first rule of successful trading is preservation of capital. So always make sure that you preserve your capital. Can you see now that we've covered that bag, which we started with already? Now, let's go here and just check that. Now, of course, a lot of people say they now let's check it. We said, okay, this is 6 and 6. Okay, good. So that means we only need 1 more of these to recover this. But of course, it's not very advisable. I must tell you, it's not really very advisable that you go into 7, 2, and all that, because it can at any point in time catch you, and you wouldn't actually want to find anybody to blame on that. Now, above 1, remember what we said, above 1, and you go with it. But most of the time I find out that even when it's on 0, 0, or even whenever it has like 0 in it, you can trade it as well. It doesn't have any formula, like I said initially. Can you see now? Now that actually caught us now. So that means you have to go back in there, and we can do less than 7. Let's see what it's going to give us. Now if you see less than 7 of these, remember how much we've lost, and we're actually trying to recover them back. Good. All of this needs to be under 7. One of this isn't under 7. 1 is 8. That's 7. Of course, just take out your time to ensure that everything is under 7, and you enter into it. As you can see, 1460 is what it is. When we enter it, most of the time it always wins the ratio. You can imagine. Can you see now? So it wins it, but I don't always go with it. That's just the major thing there. Now let's try it again with this. Everything under 7. Or if you want to do it, of course you can do 2. So if you want to do 2 now, what's going to be the formula if you can guess it? Everything is going to be above 2, and you enter from here. You can see 2, 2. See, I have 1. So anyone that we see above 2 right now, we click it up, and we go. As you can see, 4, 5, 7, 9. as you can see. But the major point I keep pointing out to you, as you can remember, is don't ever Mantigale. Have we not actually recovered back? As you guys can see, we keep recovering back, but never at any point in time try to Mantigale. Now, when we were on this 600, it remains 400. Now 800, it remains 200. So we have 400 and 200. So that means you only need to do 3 times so that you can recover back. So what are we talking about in there now? You have to go back to your 1 and 8. So now let's go to 1, and once you see everything above 1 and so as you can see, you can actually go in, make it, because we only need to do 3 times, and we go back for the next 3 times as well, so that we can make it once and for all. Now as you can see, it catches us. Now like I said, it's not it isn't certain, it isn't that very certain that once you do it now 600 before, so we have, so that means we need to do 1 with it now. So 600 before to be 600, 600, so that means we need to win it 3 times so that we can actually know we're done with it from there. Because using a 605, that's the reason we actually put in. But now it's not trading, it's just more or less like gambling bet. Of course, you can still be winning very much from it. As you guys can see now, we've won that. I know some of you guys might probably want to be assuming, Digbits Expert, you should have actually just allowed us to be doing, but now it's very risky. I keep telling people, as in absolutely risky. Now, once we win this, now we only need just to do 1 more so that we can recover that, and we go on to our next trade. Can you see now? So that makes it now, and we are here. We only need 1 more, which is this we are trying to go on to now. And because of that, we used to, above 2, we go in. 1 more, if that can make that now, that would be very nice. And we go to the next 3 trades that we want to do, and as you guys can see now, that actually makes it, but it doesn't give you the absolute reality to say, because that is making it, we need to be doing 2 and 7. No, I've tested it in real account and it doesn't actually work as such like that. That's the reason I'm actually saying that. As you guys can see now, it started going, so we need 2 more. If you can remember, we need 2 more. We actually towards 6 trades before all of those stocks actually started coming. So we just need to do this right now. So above 1, that's above 1, and we just, of course, you can take out your time. At any point in time, you can go in with it. You make your money and you get out of it. Very simple. So after this, now 1 more trade, and you call it a day. Now, if you can continue consistently, like I said, over time, you actually see that you can increase, you can make good money with this. Of course, we have other aspects of stuff that you can use, which hasn't actually been explored by anybody whatsoever. You can trade either 1 or 8. Remember, I want to see everything that is below 8 before we go in there. As you guys can see, that's below 8, 40.25, and once that comes up, we'll naturally call it a day. Probably not, yes, we'll call it a day because it's going to be 25, and that can use now. It catches us there again, and because it's not a full formula, remember. So I want to try on this right now. So we're doing above 2 and boom. Okay, so now let's see, that catches you. So if you're in a situation like this, what are you going to do? Naturally for some of us, if you're in a situation like this, emotion comes in and we start, putting in a lot of money and we want to recover back and that. But now let me show you a very real recovery, rates that you can, a very good strategy that you can use to recover your money back. Now, the target is to get to 25, but now that means we are looking for 2K now. Now let's go back in there. We can now come to higher and lower. Higher and lower for 5 tick. As you guys can see, higher and lower. That means we're doing, that. Naturally, if I'm the one to do it, of course I can Monte-Carlo. But now we will not try to see. Let's try to see it's still the same one we want to use. We can go to 4, so that, okay, let's say 4.5. 4.5 gives us, okay, 2, as you guys can see, 2 now, and it's simply that. So 2,000, so that means we're doing something like 7-8 times. Now let's see what we can do here. So that we can change in higher and lower. Want to see it fully pointing up, of course you go in there. So those are some of the strategy we make use of to recover back. Can you see now that catches us? That means we might probably have to break our protocol right now. So we now want to make do of what we have. It goes up and it comes back down, which is the major thing we're looking for. So that means that has really recovered it. But remember when I told you that we are not looking into Monte-Carlo. But of course it depends. But naturally from my own side, I wouldn't Monte-Carlo. I will keep working out, but because of a time, I may probably just have to do that right now. So now let's see what we can do. So if we do 1.7 now, that means we've done that. But if it catches us, what's going to happen? That means you've lost almost everything. That's why we keep saying, don't Monte-Carlo. So let's hold on. Once it comes down below that point, that red point, of course you go back up. So where are we? Now I was able to do that because I actually knew what I was doing. Yes, so it recovers all that. But on a good day, naturally, what I always advise everyone to do is what I said. Don't Monte-Carlo, but just go ahead with it, and you can actually make very good results for yourself. So just go try this and let's see. Now that means you can actually recover, making use of different strategies together. That's what I'm actually trying to say. Thanks and God bless for now.